Man, I'm sitting on TikTok, and we have a few videos that have done well. Some of them are, 100,000, 400,000 views, yada, yada, yada. Nobody's bragging here. And you notice a trend with the crazies. You notice a trend with the psychos out there that they're not able to Google anything on their own. They can't walk to a computer, open up their phone, I don't know, open up a laptop, an iPad. I don't care what. Go to the library, shit, I don't know. Talk to the freaking homeless person down the street, 'cause you know there is one because you're a leftist, you're a Democrat-ran area, and you run into them on every corner. It's almost like a Starbucks. And they can't do it. They can't Google anything. What are your facts? Where are you getting this from? How does this work? I don't know. Why don't you go on the internet in the same way that I went on the internet and found out how things worked and how things functioned? But they can't do it, patriots. No, and I can't expect them to because their brain is not wired correctly in the same way neither was Joe's. And you can't expect things to change. And it's not going to. In the same way, for the next 4 years, these psychos are going to be out in the middle of the street yelling at cars, random pedestrians. They're going to be yelling at Jewish people. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to be putting on strap-ons like we saw yesterday, sex objects, all this weird stuff, screaming in the microphones, sometimes just screaming at a tree. They'll be out there in a park protesting, Lord only knows what, screaming at a bush because they're not with us. They're not in our reality. They're in some makeshift reality, folks, and they want you to play along. Folks, I would love for you to play along and hit that like button. Good morning, Patriots. It's good to see you. Let me tell you, yesterday, we all had a banger of an episode, and hopefully we can dish one out for you as well. Rumor on the street is, if you leave me a comment down in Rumble, it might help our numbers. So almost just copy and paste what you say in the chat into the comment section over at Rumble, and we'll actually experiment today and see if that works. So we'll, maybe some people could throw up some questions in the chat that might be fun. It doesn't matter if it's Karen, Bets, Hans, Pat. I see y'all in the chat. Throw some questions in there that people might be able to answer in the comment section. And maybe we'll see if that actually does anything for the numbers. But we've been doing well so far. Chris says they don't even know what they're protesting. That's exactly correct. And we saw that yesterday. Well, we also saw this yesterday, but the numbers have only gotten better, folks. Yesterday, we covered the fact that Donald Trump had 50 plus countries reaching out to him. Now it's 70 plus, folks. The entire world. It's remarkable. The entire world is calling Donald Trump and have asked to negotiate with Trump on tariffs, Bessent says. So this came out yesterday. I'm trying not to sneeze right now. I only sneeze when truth is being told. Nearly 70 countries have reached out after President Donald Trump unveiled his Liberation Day tariffs last week. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Monday. Now, we have the clip here, but he's saying like 50, 60, 70. Oh, I don't know. The phone is off the hook. And Trump's answering the call, and we'll get to a few of them here. Not the calls themselves, but just kind of what countries are calling, what they want, and what's going on with these negotiations.
Tell you that there are 50, 60, maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June. And Japan is a very important military ally. They're a very important economic ally. And the U.S. has a lot of history with them. So I would expect that Japan's going to get priority, just because they came forward very quickly, but it's going to be very busy. And if President Trump, again, gave himself maximum negotiating leverage, and just when he achieved the maximum leverage, he's willing to start talking. Larry, I can tell you that there are 50, 60...
Because the guy knows how to negotiate. He puts himself in a position that is ultimately going to allow him to make the best deal possible. The guy plays 4D chess, and for some reason, there's only two sides of this. Either he's really dumb, when we're talking about Donald Trump, or the dude's a genius and he's playing 4D chess. Now, which one is it? I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards more 4D chess. The guy's a genius. And I'm basing that off the history of him. His companies, the way he's ran his business, the way that his family functions. It's remarkable that these crazies out there are hounding this guy going, he's so stupid. Look at how many bankruptcies he's had. At least he started a business. What the hell have you done with your life? It's amazing how all these people, these crazies that are screaming at Teslas, screaming at random bushes, haven't done anything. But yet the people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, I mean, the list goes on and on, truthfully, have actually started companies. Vivek Ramaswamy have actually started billion-dollar companies and sold them. But yet these psychos in the street can't even put on their shirt correctly, and they're screaming. Yeah, give me a break. Get the hell out of here. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Never have, never will. And we saw a little bit of that yesterday. Remember to hit that like button, folks. It does support us greatly. We are on the track to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is going to happen this year. Matter of fact, it'll probably happen in a couple months if everything goes correctly. We have also here, Israel showed up to the White House. This was also big news yesterday. We'll probably catch up on this today during Dark MAGA, which will be live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for premium member only. But we will have an opportunity either later this week or early next week for everybody to join Dark MAGA, but it will be premium only. Netanyahu pledges to eliminate and has announced that they will eliminate its trade deficit with the United States, which has been the basis for the 17% tariff the White House announced would be placed on Israel. Quote, "We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States." Now, this is also something that Vietnam has declared as well. So it's funny how all these countries all of a sudden, when they realize, oh, they're not going to allow us to take advantage of them anymore. Oh, you should, let's call them up and say we'll go to zero. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're also going to eliminate trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. So even our own allies, air quotes. Yeah, It just shows you how weak we've been as a country. Just allowing all these countries just to bend us over. Right here. No. I got something for you. Come here. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. They wanted us to look like this guy. Just right there. What they wanted. Right there. Yeah, you see it. I'm trying to make sure. Yep. Just smacking the booty. And you know what? This is what they want our face to look like. Bet you didn't know I had that back there, did you? That's what she said. Netanyahu, calling himself a free trade champion, said that that Israel could serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. Correct. Yes. Come work with us. They act like, meaning the crazies, act like Donald Trump is some crazy dictator fascist, right? The guy just wants to negotiate and make fair some deals and feels, and I like to agree, that we've been treated pretty wrongly for a long time, especially when we're giving security and infrastructure to other countries constantly. We're giving them billions of dollars. And again, the crazies can't Google it themselves. Well, what do you mean we're giving them billions of dollars? Well, let's just start going down the list of the money going to condoms in Mozambique, Sesame Street in Iraq. That one, it still boggles the mind. You know, when you start looking down the list of all these psycho things that we've been throwing out there for climate change, yeah, we've been giving them billions of dollars in money laundering, and they've been ripping us off. The tariff reportedly came as a surprise to Israeli leaders who had hoped that removing all tariffs from American goods would help ease the risk of economic turmoil amid a 1.5 year long war that has strained the nation's struggling economy. There's definitely a lot of truth to that. The leader is the first world leader to meet with Trump over the new tariff policy. The meeting is the second time Trump has hosted Netanyahu at the White House in less than 3 months. Now, Netanyahu also met with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who we showed yesterday, and U.S. Trade Treasury Greer at Blair House in Washington, D.C. His office described the meeting as warm, friendly, and productive. Well, it's always warm, friendly, productive when you have Israel in the house. Now, I'm not saying Israel hasn't committed atrocities, but in terms of being allies, allegedly they've done some stuff to us in the past, but as of right now, I would say they're one of our stronger allies. And I got no qualms having the Israelis with us because the Israelis know how to tear shit up. I mean, let's be real. Krav Maga, their military, the men and women they have in their military force is just it's some of the best in the world. So I got no qualms having the Israelis on our side. I would rather have them on our side than not on our side. Okay. Now, let's throw this in the chat section over at Rumble. Do you think the Israelis are one of our allies? Let me know. And it's okay if you say no. I mean, based on the history of our relationship with them, I get why some people would say no. I think you had the USS Liberty allegedly was attacked by the Israelis, all that stuff. So let us know in the comment section over at Rumble. I'm hearing via email, you know who you are, I read emails, that it might help. And I would love to test it out. So just load up the comment section, not the live chat, but the comment section on Rumble with anything and everything. Let's just go freaking stupid with it today. And, act like you're screaming at a bush, but you're screaming at the comment section. And we'll see. So if you're posting yes, but put in the comment section on Rumble. So I'm going to do this. We're going to test this out today. I want to see if this actually works. You got to hit comments and then post this yes in the comment. Here we go. Let's see how it works. Now the EU is stepping up here. As you see on the screen, I went a little early to negotiate with Trump. Folks, they're offering 0 tariffs on industrial goods. Now, I haven't done a ton of research into this to see exactly what the European labor force looks like in terms of, does it mimic labor wages wise to the United States? Do they kind of mirror one another? The reason why I bring that up is because I talked about this yesterday, where not so much the European Union, I mean, I suppose it does happen, but not as much as the example that I'm going to give with China that we talked about previously, where not only does China manipulate their currency by not allowing their currency to get stronger, they're actually suppressing it. Well, they're also subsidizing their manufacturing. So you got kind of a wombo combo taking place. And when that happens, no matter if you go 0 to 0 on tariffs, we're using China as an example right now, that good, the cost of the good, not what they're selling it for, but the cost of the good itself is still going to be cheaper, meaning people are still going to buy the foreign vehicles because they're still going to be cheaper than the American-made vehicles. So what I've been saying is a 0 for 0 tariff isn't exactly a good thing if we're aligning with what Donald Trump's philosophy is, that we're being ripped off. We would still be getting ripped off. Is that everything would change? Now, maybe not ripped off as much, but we'll have to see. Now, that is a very simplistic way of looking at tariffs, by the way. I want to be obviously clear with that. But the European Commission president, Ursula, kind of looks like a thinned out version, Ozempic version of actually Ursula from I almost said Married with Children. Well, I mean, Little Mermaid. This is the Ozempic version of it. Said on Monday that the European Union wants to negotiate tariffs with President Donald Trump and has already offered the United States 0 for 0 tariffs for industrial goods. You know what I think happened? And this is all speculation. And we're going to come back to the article really quick because there's more goodies in there. Is everybody saw our market going down, right? And I'm not going to say crashing because that's not what I think is taking place. It's going down. It's stabilized now. Now we're more in a uniform distribution. But, when their own economy starts tanking too, it starts going down. Do you see that all of a sudden everybody's making phone calls yesterday when we covered that the global markets were sinking? That everybody was losing 13.9%, 7.9%, just trillions of dollars. All of a sudden the phones start, oh shit, yeah, it looks like you have some influence on us. Oh God, what's Trump's number? It's funny how that works out. The Trump administration hit the EU with a 20% tax when the president unveiled his Liberation Day tariffs on countries around the globe. The tariff on EU imports is set to go into effect on Wednesday, meaning tomorrow, but European leaders hope to strike a deal to avoid the hefty tariff. Europe is ready to negotiate with the U.S. Where was this before? Why did you not want to negotiate before? Why all of a sudden? Could it possibly be because of your economy? So here that clip is.
We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 for 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal.
Now, I don't blame them. A good deal for them. But what about us?
So we keep it on the table. But we are also prepared to respond through countermeasures and defend our interests. We stand ready to negotiate.
It really floors me. It really, as they used to say, grinds my gears when, oh, we're going to do what's best to defend ourselves. Come here. Come here. Patriots, 1 second. I got to talk to the crazies. Can you guys just hold, please? Thank you. We're footing your defense. We're footing all of NATO. We pay for everything. We're your entire lifeline. What do you mean? Defend yourselves. Now, I don't expect them to understand that. No, that went way over their head. We all got it because we're all present, right? We all deal with reality in here. Them, screaming at bushes. Freaking psychos. Now, in a fact sheet on Trump's tariffs, the White House called out the EU for imposing a steep tariff on American vehicle imports, but I was told tariffs don't work. Why would they do that? I'm driving down the street seeing somebody yelling at a Tesla that tariffs don't work, but if they don't work, why in God's green earth would other countries impose tariffs if they don't work? But that thinking's too difficult for them. Too much brain power. The left have the brain power of an overused hairdryer. For example, the United States imposes 2.5% tariff on passenger vehicle imports with internal combustion engines, while the European Union 10%, India 70%, and China, I mean, the balls on India, right? The balls on India to impose tariffs on us. India is having their own issues. India's been having their own issues for quite some time, but yeah, no, they impose tariffs. Now, Trump is also giving China a deadline here because China imposed retaliatory tariffs on us. And Trump's saying, look, you got till a certain time or else you're getting a 50% additional tariff. And mind you, the Chinese took a 13.9% decline in their market yesterday. This is something that like nobody talks about really ever. You know, because kind of we're the face of the world. We're the big deal. China does not have a strong economy. It seems like they do. And technically they could if they didn't suppress their I almost said their dollar, but their currency. Their currency could actually be really strong because there's a lot of US dollars that are pumping into that economy, by the way. So it very well, they could be doing okay, but they decide not to. That's their choosing. But they're not doing well. And it is a remarkable thing that they're coming out with all these tariffs and they want to do a trade war. Our economy is a lot more resilient than China is. We'll see how this plays out. I think Donald Trump knows that. I think Donald Trump knows that China's in a really weak position. And most of that weak position comes in the forms of their real estate market as well. They were building entire skyscrapers, 50-story buildings, completely empty. And not just one, you'll have like 10 of them in one area. The whole area completely empty. There's not even one person renovating out. Donald Trump, as a real estate man, I think he might have saw a little bit of that variable in there and goes, we're going in. We're going in. Lutnick. We're going in. The president gave China a deadline of Tuesday. That would be today to withdraw its retaliatory tariff on the United States, threatening to impose an additional 50% on the communist country. The president also said he would cancel meetings with China, if the country doesn't back down from its retaliatory tariff. Can we just get Trump saying China the way that he used to? I miss it. It's China. The additional 50% tariff would be added onto the 34% tariff imposed by Trump last week. The guy's just throwing tariffs left and right like he's Oprah Winfrey, baby, which was put in place on top of a 20% levy the president imposed on China shortly after taking office. Woo! Last week, his Liberation Day announcement, the president imposed tariffs on almost all of the United States' top trading partners. Now, just a question, and I've been asking this question for 5 years now. 5 years and almost 1 month. 5 years and almost 1 month. 5 years and like 28 days. Got that right. What's the penalty for China unleashing a virus upon the globe? What's the penalty? I'm going to say this again because nobody talks about it. Conservative commentators, doesn't matter who the hell it is. I guarantee you I'm the only one asking. What is the penalty for China for unleashing alleged COVID-19 upon the globe leading to millions of deaths on planet Earth, whether it was a high survival rate or not. That's not what we're talking about. Mind you, it was. Just curious. Just curious. And hey, if you want to know my solution, because I don't just bring problems, I bring solutions. I said wipe out the debt that you have with us, because that's part of their manipulation of the currency, by the way. There's always a deeper meaning as to why I say something. They're buying up a lot of our bonds. So when we sell a vehicle over there, or we bring a vehicle over there and they purchase it from us, that's purchased on the dollar. And what they do is they actually hold on to that dollar and they put it into a reserve. And then with that reserve, they buy up our bonds, you guys. So that's what I mean, is that's how they're manipulating their currency. It's not that the US dollar is being transferred in a way to their yen that would make the yen a lot stronger. They're not doing that. And so they're buying up our bonds, which meaning they're buying up, we're basically financing stuff from the Chinese. I say, let's wipe all that out. There you go. Yeah, it's like 7 or 8%. So, well, it used to be. I don't know what it is now, but it used to be like 7, 8% of our debt was with China. Now, a lot of people go, China owns our ass. They don't. But they might one day if they keep up those shenanigans. So we will see what happens today with the China tariffs. That economy could go further in the pooper than what it already is. I like Brad's plan, much more beneficial for us just annihilating them. Yeah. I'm a negotiator. I'm like Trump. I'm peaceful. I don't want to go to war. But look, I like that plan. Nobody's thrown that plan out there. I'm not trying to just give myself a pat on the back, but let me know in the Rumble comment section. Light up that comment section. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the comment section myself right now. And there's nothing there. I gotta refresh it. Oh, there. Oh yeah, you guys are lighting it up. Okay, good. I like it. We'll see if it works. But nobody's talking about it. Sees Chinese purchased American land. That too. We'll just do it all. Blanket statement. Let me know what you guys throw your plans in there too. And then we'll just have a giant plan. Giant plan. Good to see you, Mark. I see people in the chat. I just want you guys to let you know I'm here and I'm seeing you. I'm listening, baby. Peggy's here. Here we go. We got a new golden age of global tariffs coming out. And we'll see if this actually comes to fruition. But new golden age of global trade. Bessent opens negotiations with Japan following Trump's tariffs. So U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott was tapped by President Donald Trump on Monday to begin negotiations now with Japan after Trump imposed a 24% tariffs on their asses. Bessent wrote on X that Trump had a very constructive phone call discussion with Japanese leaders, and the two countries will continue negotiations to implement the president's vision for the new golden age of trade. And by the way, when you hear the word negotiation, there might be something in it for us, obviously, because that's what Trump wants. That might not just be the trade imbalance. We could be getting something else out of this that we're completely unaware of, that we would have never been in that position in the first place to have if we never did tariffs in the first place. So there could be something totally strategic that Donald Trump has that he hasn't even released yet that could just blow all of our minds. So yeah, you have the trades going, oh, let's offset, let's have fair trade, but, right, they're going to go, okay, let's go 0-0, Trump. Donald, I want to go 0-0. And he goes, no. Hook, line, sinker, bitch. Hook, line, sinker. Let's throw in this deal. And he might say something, that's going to benefit us. I just got goosebumps. I mean, the guy is, I'll be honest, maybe I'm an idiot. I didn't really think about that. He might have even said that. I don't know. We'll see. Let the guy cook. There's a thing for you to sell. Is Trump, like Trump aprons, just as Trump's body. You might need to get a big apron, but you need Trump's body on the apron. Just let the guy cook. Japan remains among America's closest allies. And I look forward to our upcoming product engagement regarding tariffs, not tariff trade barriers, currency issues, and government subsidies. I appreciate the Japanese government's outreach and measured approach to the process. The reason why I took a pause there and I kind of looked off, right? Granted, that was for entertainment purposes, but there's also a reason behind it. I don't think that you should treat your friends, because that's what allies are. They're your friends. I don't think you should treat them like crap. And I don't think that you should be doing stuff behind their back and lying and manipulating things that they do and say. and especially when they're always there to kick somebody's ass for you. I just don't think that's what friends do. And I think a lot of these countries are very manipulative and a bunch of liars, and they say that they're our allies, but it makes me really wonder, in a time of need, would they really be there for us? And here's just a question. When Carolina just got destroyed, or Florida every year practically, or California with the wildfires, how many countries were reaching out, just sending massive amounts of stuff to us? I mean, at least Mexico sent firefighters out here. Where was all like the pouring in of the goods? Where was like their China's, or, well, let's go with the allies, Japan or the UK flying in their C-747s, just dropping freaking parachutes of goods like you've never seen before? Why is it every time somebody else has a natural disaster around the world, we're sending the Red Cross, we're sending our own people over there, we got the National Guard practically being deployed, or at least our military assets, no matter what the hell it is. We're always sending, oh, here's 20 billion, yeah, have fun with it. No clue what you'll do with it, but have fun. Now, maybe all these other countries are chipping in. I just don't see it happening. It's at least not being covered in the news. Oh, well, you know, China gave us shirts from Baby Gap. You think Shib's going to fit? I know Shib's from the UK. You think Shib, a big dog? Let's go with Pat, because Pat's here in the United States, but both of them are big dogs. You think they're going to fit in a Baby Gap shirt? You think Dan over here is going to fit in a Baby Gap shirt? It has, like, you know, world champions from like 1995 on it with holes everywhere. Give me a break. It's true, though. It's true. It's true. So with the conversation that's surrounding Japan, as I mentioned, you know, maybe we'll get something good out of it. Maybe there'll be something more with these negotiations than just the tariffs part. And I think there is, because Trump revives possible sale of U.S. steel to Japan's Nippon Steel. Donald Trump has ordered a new review of the possible sale of U.S. steel to Japan's Nippon Steel, a deal previously blocked by former President Joe Biden. Trump signed an executive action on Monday ordering his administration to take a new look at the deal and assess the risks the deal may pose to the United States national security after U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel offered some changes to the deal. Trump's order gives the U.S. Committee on Foreign Investment 45 days to submit a recommendation. Quote, I direct the Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States to conduct a review of the acquisition of U.S. steel by the purchasers to assist me in determining whether further action in this matter may be appropriate. Biden blocked the proposed $14.9 billion deal in January, citing risks to United States supply chains. Trump also opposed the deal at the time and pledged to block it. Now, because he's negotiating with Japan, it makes me wonder if he's cooking something up to make a favorable deal. Now, if you're taking the steel and we're not producing enough steel, which goes into the whole manufacturing argument that we got to stop relying and outsourcing other countries for our goods and services, because when there's a time in need and bleep hits the fan, well, it takes a long time to build these manufacturing facilities. And I would like to have those manufacturing facilities in place, not only to hire American labor, which increases the tax revenue that we have here in the United States. Even if you lower the tax revenue, more jobs means more taxes means more revenue means more paying down our national debt. Well, it'd be nice to have that here when there's a time of war, because we already know the Chinese want to go into Taiwan. You got Iran building a nuclear warhead. You got Russia acting like a bunch of knuckleheads, creating war in Ukraine. You got a destabilized Middle East. There's massive problems going around. You got the cartel wanting to continue send fentanyl across the border, even though Donald Trump has a good grip on that. I mean, there's things going on around everywhere that I just don't trust a lot of these countries. And by the way, the Chinese making a lot of our chips, or even the Taiwanese. Yeah, I would like an American-made chip, so that I know that I'm not being spied upon, even though the American government does do that. But now that we're in a switch here with Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, the whole gambit, I'm hoping they're not spying on us as much. But I would still rather have an American-made chip in my phone, my computer, in my government offices, rather than a Chinese chip, so that they don't continue to steal our intellectual property. That would be kind of nice. That would be kind of an important thing to do. But what do I know? That was one of the things, by the way, that I'm still waiting to see the long-term outgrowths of the Biden administration, to actually see if that was a good that Joe Biden did. Joe Biden might have done one good thing in 4 years, and that might have been the CHIPS Act, to bring manufacturing back here in the United States. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath with it, but it might have been a good thing. I know, shocker. Whoa. Countries from all over the world are talking to us tough but fair parameters are being set. Spoke to the Chinese prime minister this morning. He is sending a top team to negotiate. They have treated the U.S. very poorly on trade. They don't take our cars, but we take millions of theirs. Likewise, agriculture and many other things. It has to change, but especially with China. So Trump is cooking. Man, that guy's working hard, is he not? Can we just pause for a moment and hit the like button for Trump? The guy's been busting his ass. I mean, it's only April 8th. It hasn't even been 3 months yet, and this guy is just working nonstop for the American people, picking up phone calls, having teams sent out. I mean, he's really running his administration more like a Ronald Reagan style administration where he's not micromanaging. He's allowing his team to go out and just cook and just do the work that's necessary. He doesn't need to tell them what to do. They're in that position. They should already know what to do. Sean Duffy's out there as the Secretary of Transportation, looking at our infrastructure, bringing on Elon Musk's team to look at our airports to make sure our air traffic control systems are up to date because they're archaic. He's looking at all those things. You got Pete Hegseth going out and training with our troops, meeting with the troops, trying to see what's going on. How can he advance it? He's changing the standards. So now that the standards are equal between men and women, so if women can't do the same amount of push-ups as men, well, guess what? You don't go into the military, or at least you don't go in the combat roles. I mean, they're all going out and just putting in the work. The guy's busting his ass, man. It's more than what Joey did. Joey didn't do anything. Again, I'm going to bring this up. The crazies that are screaming at Teslas, wiping their doo-doo on their hands and wiping it on Teslas, screaming at trees. These people are complaining about Donald Trump, but you didn't hear a peep from them for 4 years. You didn't hear anything from them think about that. The people that look like this with their mouth open and clearly can't shut up right now are the same people that you didn't hear a peep from. It's almost as if somebody opened up the doors to the insane asylum and they just like, yay, we're free, right? And just start running rampant everywhere. I mean, how many clips do we have to show? How many clips do we have to show? What else do we have here? We're not going to spend too much time on this, but the stock markets fell for a third straight day as Trump barrels through tariff fight, which we knew was going to happen. Again, I don't understand why this is a shock to anybody. Mind you, you didn't lose money. You haven't realized it yet. I understand, Jeff, you said unrealized gains. I get that. But in terms of realized, that's what matters the most, is because you have not realized it yet. So technically, you have not lost any money. That's why, and this is not a financial advice, I'm not legally allowed to give it, you don't pull your money out of the market. Right now would be a time, if anything, to actually invest, hit the market while it's low. You know, you have a span of 100 plus years of data that the market's going to rebound and go up at some point, and you can make a lot of moolah. For the third consecutive day of trading following President Donald Trump's tariff rollout, U.S. stock indexes dipped as Wall Street anxiously awaits the result of president's aggressive move. Now, it did spike when people heard that the European Union, it's about the same time frame, wanted to go to a 0-0 tariff, and there was rumors that all these countries are going to be starting to negotiate with Donald Trump. Well, the stock market spiked really quickly. I mean, it spiked very quickly. So it went back down, but it just shows you how reactionary it is. And the media is really taking hold of this whole thing. Oh, look at the market. Look at the market. Again, we went to the market yesterday and I showed you how many dips, hardcore dips, by the way, the same dips that there was with Joey. I'm trying to figure out the angle of my hand. There you go. The same dips with Joey. Not a peep from the media. Not a peep from the crazies. Nothing from our friends on the Democrat side of the aisle. Nothing. Just quiet. Not a big deal. Not only was there a 9.1% inflation, but the market was going down. So you are being reamed. You are being destroyed. Oh boy. We're going to take a swig and wet the whistle. Hit that like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, folks. Would love for you to join us in the live chat. If you haven't tossed a comment yet, throw a comment, please. Help us. And by the way, we bring this energy every single morning. This ain't anything new. It's nothing new. We're always drinking. We're always sipping on coffee, wetting the whistle. I missed the chat. Travis Cobb in the house, baby. Brad's on fire today, and I'm getting my Bald Brad coffee mug today. Hell yeah, baby. He's getting it in today. You rock, Patriots. Cheers to you, sir. Let us know, Travis, in the comments section and the live chat if you could. What color mug did you get? Because Pat and Shib have a mug too. So does Andy. My buddy Andy has a mug. Andy has a book as well. So I appreciate everybody supporting the show. That's really cool, man. That's so cool, man. I made this mug too. Like, I don't know. That's really cool, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Wow. It's always nice knowing you guys are drinking out of the same mug as me. It's like we're friends. Bald Brad Shop. Links in the description. They're not bad. They're not badly priced. By the way, I've had this mug since the beginning. It's great. It's actually dropped from the height of my hip. It has a crack in it, believe it or not. That's how cheap I am. I know somebody donated money for a new mug. I remember. I have not forgotten. Except you guys know how I am. If it's not broke, I mean, it's broken. I don't need a new one. Okay? It's still holding my coffee. That's what matters. That's what matters. Here we go. Now we're going to transition away from tariffs into being a female. No, I'm kidding. But we are transitioning away from tariffs because we've been talking a lot about these crazies screaming at Teslas, keying Teslas, lighting dealerships on fire. I mean, none of it's new. We saw what they did during Black Lives Matter. The history of the Democrat Party and the progressive left is a party of violence, folks. Look at every Democrat-ran area. They actually vote to increase the crime in their cities. They love it. They thrive on it. That's why they want illegal immigrants in their cities. They want the illegal immigrants to commit crimes. By definition, they are committing a crime because they're here illegally and they want more of it. Every action that they've done shows that they love crime. They're a party of crazies. They've been a party of crazies for a long time. Should I remind you that they are the party of the Ku Klux Klan, the party of hanging black people from trees, from crosses being lit on fire, to going against the civil rights movement. If you didn't have the votes from Republicans, you wouldn't have civil rights. The Republicans are the party of prosperity. The Republicans and the conservatives are the parties that make America great again, not the Democrat Party. By definition, they wouldn't make America great again because they want bigger government. Government sucks at everything. There's no government program other than Doge. Doge would be the first government program in American history that's actually done something productive for the American people. Every single government program sucks ass. So by definition, their party sucks because government sucks. And because they want bigger government, they're going to lead to more sucking. There's a rant for you, but it's true. And so what they're doing here, and y'all sit down for this, you're about to see how crazy these people are. Now, we've shown you video. We've shown you endless videos over 4 years, and especially yesterday, especially on Dark MAGA the other day, Sunday's episode. Look what you see here. 55% of leftists say they could somewhat justify a Trump assassination. This is how deranged these people are. This is why I don't go talk to them on the street all the time. This is why I don't do those on the street interviews. They'll stab you in the back, literally. They will shoot you in the back of the head. It doesn't matter where you are. And that's why I always say I'm always impressed with those that do on the street interviews, because these people will attack you. They don't care. They got nothing. The scariest person is the person that has nothing to lose. And because they're already losers, they have nothing to lose. A new study finds that 55% of self-identified leftists thought murdering President Donald Trump would be somewhat justifiable. The network of Contagion Research Institute joined Rutgers University's Social Perception Lab to conduct a study titled Assassination Culture, How Burning Teslas and Killing Billionaires Became a Meme for basically political violence, which states that an assassination culture appears to be emerging within segments of the U.S. public on the extreme left. You mean the Democrat Party? All these people voted. They're self-described leftists. No, that's just it's a fancy way for saying I'm Democrat. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. I'm so tired of well, we got to separate the two. No, we don't. There's a lot of the Democrat AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi previously. I mean, the list goes on and on. You have actual socialists in government right now that claim they're independent, i.e. Bernie Sanders, or they're actual Democrats, meaning AOC. No, these people are off their rockers. Maxine Waters is another one. Adam Schiff. I mean, again, the list goes on and on and on. Gavin Newsom. You previously had a vice president called Kamala Harris as a psycho lefty that's a part of the Democrat Party. These attitudes are not fringe. They reflect an emergent assassination culture grounded in far left authoritarianism and increasingly normalized in digital discourse. That's why we show those photos of these protesters, Democrats, these crazies, saying 8647. They'll have an 8647, like a phone number, like the last four digits of a social, which means that they want to delete President Donald Trump. That's insane, by the way. I know we're covering crazies, but it's scary times, man. The report states that 55% of respondents who viewed themselves as left of center, that's Democrat, by the way. You could just literally rewrite this word as Democrat. It's the same thing. Left of center. Yeah. I'm a Democrat. Said that the murder of Trump could be somewhat justified. 48% of the same for Elon Musk. Among all respondents, 38% said it would be somewhat justifiable if Trump were assassinated, while 31% said the same about Musk. Again, and we're supposed to take them seriously. We're supposed to engage with these people. Yeah, we're supposed to listen to them. This is the reason why I started the Bald Brad Show. If you go back to my very first episode, and please don't do it because it's actually embarrassing. It doesn't matter what you say, you guys. You could say that you're against racism. You could say that you think racism is evil, which we say here all the time on the show. They will still call you a racist. It doesn't matter what you say. They just don't like you. Matter of fact, they hate you. In the same way they hate Trump, they hate you just the same. If they're willing to delete a president, they're willing to delete you. That dude is more powerful than you are. This dude's a national figure. This guy's a freaking saint. If they're willing to do that to him, that Secret Service protections, what do you think they're willing to do to you? And that's why I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do the show I wanted to do. I'm just going to say what I want to say. If you get fired from your job, whatever, the hope is the Patriots got your back. You just got to roll the dice. Hell, I'll work at McDonald's and do the show if I have to. I don't give a shit. But that's why I started the show, because it doesn't matter what you say anymore. They're still going to come at you. You could say the most obvious fucking thing out there, and they will still come at you for it. Wild. Well, we're going to get into some foreign affairs really quick. I suppose the whole episode has been about foreign affairs because we've been talking about tariffs. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please hit that like button. It does support the show. I know I ask that a lot, but there's always people popping in and out of the show, and it does support greatly. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're on the road to 2,000 followers over on Rumble. So 100,000 to 2,000. Oddly enough, we actually get more views on Rumble, twice as many views on Rumble with less than 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to say this again. With 2,000 subscribers, we get twice as many views on Rumble than we do on YouTube, with going to be, we're at 80,000 subscribers on YouTube. You think there's a little bit of suppression going on? You think there's a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of shadow banning? Yeah, no. And we asked them about that. I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. We asked YouTube, hey, is that normal to see that? Oh, yeah, it's normal. Is it normal that my viewers are saying they're being unsubscribed and that they can't find my channel, and even if they look it up, it doesn't show up? Is that normal? We have the receipts. I actually have the chat log, and I have a video on it of them saying it's completely normal. We did a full-fledged video on it. This shit was fucking crazy, man. Sorry to cuss, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's normal to have 80,000 followers, subscribers that subscribe to you to watch you. But, the viewership hasn't changed since you had the 5,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's normal. Go from fucking 5,000 to 80,000. Yeah, it's normal to stay the same viewership. Yo, I don't know what you're smoking, but that's bonkers, man. By the way, I teach statistics. Doesn't mean I know everything about statistics, but I teach statistics. Yeah, that shit ain't real, by the way. Not to mention, I was also a fucking auditor, assurance and advisory accountant that literally looks at data and the changes from year over year and documented them to see if there were certain trends going on with the company and highlighting them. But I don't know how to read data. Yeah, no, it's normal. It's normal. I don't know everything, but I know bullshit when I see it. Now, you also have Trump says Iran will be in great danger if Saturday's nuclear talks fail. He's given them multiple opportunities. It's not what I'm liking with Trump. I understand he wants to make a deal. I understand he doesn't want to blow up installations because that's more money that we're going to have to spend on missiles. I get all that, but it's a little bit too much of a read in the wind for me. This is high stakes. Iran wants to see Israel wiped off the face of the earth. If you get a nuke, you're talking millions of people gone in the span of a blip of a second. It's not a good thing. And they've already said that they don't want to negotiate with him. They've already said they want nothing to do with you. They've already said, quote, this is a quote from the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini. The death of the West is not a chant or a slogan. It's a policy. Specifically, the exact quote was, "Death to America is not a slogan. It's a policy." That's the exact quote. President Donald Trump announced that officials from his administration will have top-level direct talks with officials from the Islamic Republic of Iran this Saturday in hopes of reaching a new nuclear deal. If the talks are not successful, Trump said Iran would be in great danger. I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger, Trump said. It's not complicated formula. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is. So here he is yesterday. We'll cover this a little bit more. I want to get into the Oval Office conversation with Trump and Netanyahu during the Dark MAGA podcast today, because there's usually little gems in there, little hidden secrets that the media doesn't always cover on, because Trump says a lot of good things. They don't want to cover the good things. They always want to cover the bad. So here's that clip.
If the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
So is that a yes?
You know, it's not a complicated formula. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is.
So
Can't have it. Right now we have countries that have nuclear power that shouldn't have it, but I'm sure we'll be able to negotiate out of that too as part of this later on down the line. But Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if the talks aren't successful, I actually think it'll be a very bad day for Iran if that's the case. Yeah.
He just kind of almost cuts himself off. It would be a bad day for Iran. And look, you can either have peace talks, no nuclear warhead, have your company, well, I mean, it's treated as a company basically, have your economy thrive, work with the rest of the world, stop supporting terrorism, and you'll be fine. What's crazy is when you look back in history of the Middle East, such intellectual power was coming out of the Middle East. That's where a lot of mathematics came from. Just a lot of just prosperity in terms of knowledge really came out of from the Middle East. And they could really thrive again, but they don't want to. They'd rather support terrorism. They'd rather build a nuclear warhead when there's no need for one. They feel like they're in danger, that we're going to do something to them. I mean, all this other stuff. It's bonkers. It is truly wild. If you're wondering how Brad has so much energy in the morning, how does he do it? How does he have that much energy? How do I get that energy? Well, you got to drink the same coffee as us. That's what you got to drink. Weak coffee is for the weak. And at Rumble, weak has never been a part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee, baby. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out the BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold, baby, without its bitterness. And vitality mushroom blend. Real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage. And that's what I hate, is when you can taste the chemicals and just the fakeness that's injected into the coffee, because I drink my coffee dark. I drink it black. You can't say black anymore. You got to say dark. You're not allowed to say black. I found out at Starbucks. No, the stuff is freaking great. It's phenomenal. And a lot of you were asking about the K-Cup pods. So now they have those. Whole bean, fresh ground coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO. You have the QR code. You just scan that with your phone. It will pop up for 15% off, and start your morning off right with coffee that stands for something. Again, go to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO for 15% off. Oh, and by the way, every dollar you spend goes towards winning a Cybertruck and $30,000 cashola. 30,000. If you win, just, donate. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying donate the 30,000. If you want to, that'd be great as well. But donate some of that cash to the Bald Brad Show. That's what I'm saying, baby. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Actually, speaking of donations, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Sorry if I did. If I did, start screaming at me. Maybe I'll be able to hear you. Can you imagine some of you screaming at the camera? Me! You missed me, you idiot! You bald idiot, you missed me! Oh, boy. Well, speaking of that, you have this right here. This little glimpse from Netanyahu. U.S.-Iran nuclear talks scheduled for Saturday, which we just got done discussing. But there's this reaction from Netanyahu. Watch how he reacts, changes the moment Trump mentions negotiations with Iran. I mean, he knows it's not going to work. He knows. I mean, and I know as well. And I think Trump would be silly to think that Iran negotiations going to work. They're a bunch of liars. They've been lying nonstop for decades now. We've always heard, oh, well, it seems like they're building a nuclear warhead. Oh, they're a day away from it. They're a week away from it for like the last few years. But we'll see. You never know. I always am open mind, and I hope that he is able to negotiate a deal with the Iranians. And look, the Iranian people are great. It's their freaking government that's a bunch of psychos. Now, speaking of Iran, speaking of terrorism, U.S. intensifies campaign against Houthis, warns Iran. The United States has intensified its military campaign against the Houthis in Yemen, targeting their underground facilities, weapons manufacturing bunkers, troops, and air defense assets. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has stated that the pressure of the Houthis will continue until they cease their attacks on U.S. ships, which I love. This is something that the Trump administration has really been harsh on. The Biden administration just allowed them to do whatever the hell they want. We were showing videos of them sinking full-fledged tankers down at the bottom of the ocean. So here's a little bit of a clip from yesterday.
It's been a bad 3 weeks for the Houthis, and it's about to get worse. It's been a devastating campaign, whether it's underground facilities, weapons manufacturing, bunkers, troops in the open, air defense assets. We are not going to relent. And it's only to get more unrelenting until the Houthis declare they will stop shooting at our ships. And we've been very clear at the Iranians as well. They should not continue to provide support to the Houthis, and that message has been made very clear. So we have a lot more options and a lot more pressure to apply, and we know, because we see the reports, how devastating this campaign has been in them, and we will not relent.
We got a lot more options. It's a fun way of saying we got a lot more bombs. It's like a menu. You know, Trump's like ordering a Diet Coke, but with a Diet Coke, he gets a bomb menu. You go, let's see, Pete. Hey, Pete, where's that bomb that we dropped in my first term? I don't see it. What's it called? The mother of all bombs. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, big booms. Oh, page 9? 1 second. Page 9. Bottom list? Oh, I see it. Can I get 5 of those on the Houthis, please? I know it's for 5 people, but I want 5. I want 1 for each one. It's overkill. I don't care, Pete. Drop them. Oh, I always have fun playing Trump talking to Pete Hegseth. It's fun. It's fun. It's different. It's silly. A menu of bombs. Holy lordy. Can you imagine? Probably is something like that. We have this taking place as well. SCOTUS has been injected into the conversation. Halts order demanding return of deported Salvadorian national. Chief Justice John Roberts, I want to point out I am not related to this guy, okay? I am not related to him, nor do I want to be. Or at least I don't think I'm related to him. Issued an order on Monday that blocked a previous order from a district court judge demanding that deported Salvadorian national Mr. Garcia be returned to the United States by midnight. Fox reporter Bill Mulligan shared a photo of the order, which you have on your screen right here, via X, along with news breaking SCOTUS Chief Justice Roberts has temporarily blocked the district court's order that Salvadorian national Mr. Garcia be returned to the United States by midnight. So stepping in for that. Upon consideration of the application of counsel for applicants, the order began. It is ordered that April 4th order of the United States District Court of Maryland case is hereby stayed pending further order of the unsigned or of the court. So that is a good move. That person is staying there. Nobody's coming back as of yet. That was also trending on X yesterday with Chief Justice Roberts blocking the order. Now, it's just a stay for now. This is something that could change. It looks like they're going to analyze it a little bit further and see if that's something that should or should not have taken place. We will see here. But nevertheless, to bring back an alleged MS-13 gang member, I'm not exactly in favor for. I don't think it's good that we're bringing criminals into the country, nor do I think it's good that we're bringing violent criminals back into the country as well. And maybe not violent, but, you know, why be in a gang if you're not going to be violent? Is it just to go have a bunch of drinks and say kumbaya? That's just called a friendship. It's not called, you don't need a gang. So an MS-13 is a violent gang. More than 1 million migrants on Medicaid. Thousands are on the voter rolls. What? What? I was told, folks, you were here. You've been with me for 4 years. You know that we were told this wasn't happening. It's not real. It's fake. You're conspiracy theorists, you tinfoil hat bigots. That's what we were called, right? We're a threat to democracy. We're a threat to the republic. We're extremists. Remember how I always said they had a DHS advisory board under the Biden administration? By the way, if you're new here, you're really going to want to listen up. If you're new to the Bald Brad Show, listen to this. There was a DHS advisory board under Joe Biden's administration. And they said, if you are a Trump supporter, if you ever served in the military, or are a religious person, if you're any one of those three, because they're or statements, not and, you are deemed a terror risk in the United States of America. Y'all remember when we covered that? Oh, and I showed the receipts. I had it on the screen. I showed the receipts. That's not my words. That's their words. You're a terrorist in your own country, folks, by the way. Yep. Not these people lighting up dealerships or burning down buildings or acting amok or wanting to delete Donald Trump. No, those people are normies, according to the Democrat Party. But us, for wanting to build and make America great again, we're the crazies. Everything's ass backwards. So an official of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, said that millions of migrants are currently receiving taxpayer-funded Medicaid benefits, while thousands are on the voter rolls across the country and are illegally voting in American elections. Oh, I was told this wasn't happening. DOGE official and equity firm CEO Antonio Garcia said that migrants have obtained Social Security cards after being released into the interior of the country with a notice to appear in immigration court, with court dates scheduled on average of 6 years after their release. Check this out. So now you're in the country with some quasi-legal status. You're waiting for your court date. You could fill out an asylum application, Garcia's explained during a recent appearance on the All In podcast, which featured Daily Wire host Ben Shapiro. Once that application is in, you can file another form, a 765, to get work authorization. Once you get that, you get a 766, which is the authorization, and we automatically send you a Social Security card in the mail. With access to Social Security cards, Garcia says, over 1 million migrants have been able to receive Medicaid benefits. We mapped this through the benefits program. We found every benefits program that is being accessed by these people. 1.3 million are on Medicaid right now. He went on to explain that thousands of migrants have been found on voter rolls, as well as asserting that the Democrat Party opened the border in order to import new voters, which is exactly our speculation going back years and years ago. Quote, we looked at voter rolls and we found that thousands are registered to vote in friendly states. Friendly states mean Democrat-ran states. And we looked even further in those friendly states and found that many of those people had actually voted. It was shocking to us. I think this was a move to import voters. I've been saying this. This is not a shock to me. It's just bringing in the receipts. This doesn't include the 7.8 million that ICE has to have come in illegally, and we know are here, and all the people who are here illegally, who we don't even know who are here. We don't know where they're coming from. We know through the CIA terrorist targeter, Superbad, Sarah Adams, codename Superbad, that there's a specific terrorist, and they're aware of the name, by the way. I just can't say the name. I don't know what the hell. I don't remember what it was. Is manufacturing these fake passports because we don't even know who they are in their home country, right? They're just coming over here with a different name, but they're a sleeper cell, and they've been trained to commit atrocities upon Western civilization, and now they're here in the interior of the United States thanks to the Democrat Party. So not only was it just allowing voters in, but it's also allowing people that want to harm you and your family. But, you know, nothing to see here. No big deal. Just 1.2 million? Is that what he said? So let's look at this really quick. Let's just take a gander. No. We're going to take a peek. Just a little peek under the hood here really quick. Here you go. So there's the largest budget item is Medicaid. And who was just injected into that largest budget item that, mind you, up here is almost $37 trillion in debt. You have 1.3 million siphoning from this. Oh, goody. By the way, we're also accruing interest. Yeah, but no, let's complain about defense and war spending. Let's complain about that for a moment. Let's not complain about them tapping into your Social Security. Let's not talk about them tapping into your Medicaid. Oh, it's only a percentage of the budget. Then you pay for it, dipshits. Not you guys. You know, I'm talking about the crazies. I've always said this. You could do this so easily. On the front page of the 1040 form that the IRS has you file every single April 15th, you can just have on there, do you want to contribute? And you could actually do 5, 10, 50, 100,000, 10,000, $1 million. have it, and you get to check that off. You get to check it off yourself. Would you like to donate this to fostering illegal immigrants? Don't take it out of the budget. Just have the Democrats pay for it. There you go. And I've always said if they had a checkbox on that for the building the border wall, I'd check it off. I got no qualms with that. We'll have to we'll have to end it off with this one. I just want to show you guys this real quick. You have Crockett on immigration labor. She says, we're done picking cotton. Representative Jasmine Crockett spoke at a Grace Baptist Church in Connecticut. Not speaking about scriptures. God forbid they actually do that because they don't have jack bleep to say about it because they don't know anything about scriptures. Where she discussed the role of immigration in the U.S. economy. She highlighted the necessity of immigrant labor is essential sectors like farming, saying that native-born citizens are not willing to take on these jobs. Crockett referenced the historical context of cotton picking. Lady, you're part of the exact party that wanted to exacerbate the freaking slavery of black people, you idiot.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
There's a lot of Americans that are farmers, by the way. A ton of Americans that are just farmers. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not.
This is at a church, by the way.
We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
So I had to.
It's crazy, man. People are crazy, but they will still be crazy tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. But we'll stay sane over here. We'll keep bringing you the news. We'll bring you the news. It's good seeing you, folks. We're going to be back here this evening for a Dark MAGA podcast. This one is going to be on Rumble Premium only. So if you're not a Rumble Premium subscriber, become one. You're supporting a great company. And I know it might be, it's an annual subscription. You can do monthly as well. But that goes into supporting free speech. As you're seeing with YouTube, they're suppressing our channel, folks. They are big time. We're having to run ads just to gain subscribers. And we're only getting a little bit of those subscribers transferring to actual viewership and actual patriots. So with that being said, don't forget to toss us a comment in the chat. And I guess, do we want to raid somebody today? We haven't raided anybody in a while. Do we want to raid anybody? Let's do Rumble. Yeah, we'll raid somebody real quick. So here's the Rumble link for everybody in YouTube. If you're unfamiliar with raiding, we go in there and we raid somebody in the morning. And does anybody have anybody that we should raid really quickly? This is what we're looking at right here. Let's see. Who should we raid? There's Alan. We've done Alan's show before. Let's go back to LFA TV. We'll go back to him, and we'll raid his chat.
Anybody remember REM?
Patriots, take care. I will see you guys this evening for Dark MAGA, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.